This segment of the CU podcast is brought to you by Into the AM. They have premium, high-quality apparel, including nice graphic tees, basic tees, hoodies, and even boxer briefs.
Even boxers. They got you covered.
I got the Lost Signal tee. Look at this. Vibrant colors. It's like an 80s sort of TV. You got some VHS tapes. I love it. It's retro. You got the Daisy Gang tee.
Daisy Gang. This little guy gets me. This little guy gets me.
Happy flower.
What I would like to point out is that the printing on these is really high quality.
Yes.
The colors, like I said, are vibrant. Doesn't look like it's ever going to really wash out. And it's like a bigger print than you usually get on a t-shirt too.
They sent me the Jungle Cat shorts. These are going to be, next time I go to the zoo, Ian, these are what I'm wearing.
You're going to be the talk of the zoo.
Talk of the zoo with the Jungle Cat shorts. They have a great deal going on. They have a bundle deal for the graphic tees. They're 3 for $60 right now. So you can freshen up your style. You go to intotheam.com/CU podcast and you use code CU podcast and you'll get 10% off these very comfortable tees and all their gear on top of the bundle deal. You can do both if you want. Go look good and feel good with Into the AM. We got voicemails, Ian.
We sure do.
You go to
that's you.
You go to Anchor. You still won't learn it. Anchor.fm. What if I died, Ian, and you can't have to promote the voice messages? You'd be totally lost.
I just don't think we'd have a podcast anymore.
You could get someone to fill in into the share.
Not interested.
But just in case, write it down, Ian. Anchor.fm/the CU podcast.
Okay.
To leave a voicemail. At least you can remember that. There. I'd have to leave like Ian like a USB drive in case I died
with like a couple videos and
passwords, the instructions, and everything to get into the account. Maybe I'll still do that.
What to eliminate?
What to delete?
What to delete? Yeah.
delete past private folder. Delete. That was one of the only good things from the Man Show back in the day, pre Joe Rogan. The first iteration was like it was a corporation that once you died they would go and like wipe out all your weird shit that you owned before your family came over your house and discovered it. That was actually a good funny sketch. Like all your porno stash and weird toys and stuff, they would like get rid of all of it so your family would never see that.
That's funny.
Consider that if you die, what's going to happen? You just don't care. You just don't care. Anyway, so we got voice messages and here is the first one.
Hey, Pat and Ian and Pat. It's Jordan from Canada.
Hey, Jordan.
I'm just catching up on old episodes, and you're talking about going to see Mogwai and forgetting your earplugs. I got to stress to anyone listening, please wear earplugs.
Yes.
I'm an audio engineer. I'm trained. When you learn about hearing loss and all the stuff that comes along with it, including tinnitus or tinnitus, however you want to put it, it's so important. I don't care what people think. What earplugs look like.
Yeah, wear them
in my ears.
I mean, yeah, like
I'm very pro earplug. I didn't not wear them because I was like, I'm too cool. I just forgot them and it sucked.
No,
and I bought them from
in my late 20s.
Guy.
I don't care if girls look at me like I'm a fucking nerd.
Yeah,
it's like I gotta listen when I'm older in life. I'm sorry about that.
Shit, when we go and play pinball, Vonnie wears earplugs because the bar is too loud. Yeah,
wear them. So important. Anyway, love the show.
Thanks, you, Jordan. That's super important.
A solid PSA.
Hey guys, Tim here from Minnesota. Another message for y'all. I'm just kind of wondering what you guys think the next big collectible, big valuable thing is going to be with gaming.
Big.
Not necessarily just, Xbox 360 or Xbox One titles or PS4 titles, but maybe outside of that, what people are going to get into, what's coming in the future. I never really thought graded games were going to take off like they did.
They're not.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like no one did because it wasn't a thing and it was manufactured.
And it's still not like it. It's more popular than it was, but it's still a pretty small group of people.
It's not a thing. Until I see people buying and selling them at conventions,
right?
It's not a thing. And people say, "Oh, Pat, there's people something." There's almost no transactions happening.
They're there, but people aren't buying them.
Yes.
They're displaying them.
Yes.
It's
or
still
making connections, or
it's still in that stage where they've got to convince a bunch of other people to get into it. As far as what's next, I have no idea. I really don't. We used to have a topic that sat there for a while. That was what's next. What's the next big thing in retro game collecting? As we had that as like a back pocket topic. And we never did it. We deleted it because
it's going to be whatever. You'll say whatever was 20 years old. There you go.
Right.
Whatever's 20 years old, 25 years old, there you go.
That's what it is.
Hey guys, Mike from Chicagoland.
Mike?
Ian, I want to know what makes for an ideal CU podcast intro. Now, we already know the guidelines for Q&A. 20 to 25 seconds, get right to the point, no need to heap praise on you guys. As I'm catching up on my back episodes, Ian, you seem to be the one who guides the direction and the timing of the intros a little bit more. So I want to know, in your opinion, what makes for a killer CU podcast intro?
I don't know what makes for a killer CU podcast.
We never used to do
intro.
intros.
Yeah.
We just do like a few minutes. Hey, what's going on? And we go into topics.
Yeah. No, I really like the intros. I mean, obviously the intros are best if we have multiple topics that we can cover in 2 to 3 minutes each. And I like a variety of them. I like to get something NFT in there. I like to talk.
It's more traditional
podcasting. Yeah. I like to talk.
Show.
I like to, these days especially, I've been enjoying hearing what Pat has to say about TV shows that I will never watch. So I at least feel somewhat knowledgeable about them. I enjoy catching up on the movies. In terms of me being, I know, because people have pointed it out, it's not boredom, but if we are going to get behind somewhere and have like an exceptionally long podcast, we get behind in the intro, usually. So
we've done 55-minute intros before. Usually, I like the 30-minute ones.
It's not me being, I'm not trying to be short with Pat, and it's not that I'm disinterested, but like there are times in an intro I'll be like, holy fuck, we've been on this for 10 minutes. We gotta go. And I'll just say, okay, moving on.
Usually that's why we stopped doing wrestling topics. They went on forever. That's one of the reasons why. Plus, people didn't care for the most part about them.
Something we don't really care about that we can talk about endlessly.
It's also, we don't need it since we're professionals. We're good at it. We don't do a warm up. We just go into the podcast.
Yeah, no, we just hit go.
That's why we have good chemistry. That's why we can always do it. Like some podcasts, I'm not calling out certain podcasts, but like some would require like a warm up. Like, let's get into talking, conversing, which is fine.
I get here 45 minutes early and we chat a little bit, but it's not a rehearsal.
It's show prep.
Yeah.
It's just like, what are the topics we're talking about? Let's narrow this down, sort of thing. Don't pull the curtain back, Ian.
He asked me to pull the curtain back.
I don't.
Sergeant Zombie here. Hey, Pat, I was just wondering, after this whole Amico dumpster fire is completely over, if Hulu comes out with a series called Pat and Tommy, who do you guys want playing you, and who do you think would make a good Tommy?
Well, people say I look like Mark Ruffalo more and more, which is interesting. So
I'd clearly be Paul Dano.
Paul Dano.
I got so much of that when Batman came out.
I still have to see that. I
watched it.
3 hours. It should be trimmed a little bit, or you feel like it's.
You know what?
I heard it's more like a longer extended cut.
It was a long movie, but I enjoyed it very. I thought it was a good movie. Yeah, you probably could have trimmed it in spaces, but it didn't hang at any part for me. Like it didn't feel slow.
Gotcha.
Hey, Pat and Ian. This is Mike from New Jersey. Love the show. This message is for Pat. So I caught you saying last episode that Cherry Hill is not part of New Jersey. Well, I just want to let you know, coming from Marlton, that you guys are just a bunch of fake New Yorkers.
Whoa!
Okay? Talk to you later.
Wow! That's funny, Mike.
Wow!
That's funny, being that most people that work in New York live in North Jersey, and they commute, a lot of them. It's also funny, Mike, that the New York Giants and the New York Jets play in New Jersey. They're Jersey teams, technically.
Yeah, they are. They're not New York teams. That's why the Bills are the best.
Let me tell you something, Mike.
Let me tell you something,
You're
Mike.
so Jersey that everyone that lives near you likes the Philadelphia Phillies and the Philadelphia Eagles, and you're telling me that's Jersey, but people in North Jersey are fake? Jersey, are you kidding me, Mike? Save it, Mike.
Save it, Mike.
If you turn on your TV and there's the Eagles on Sunday, you ain't Jersey.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Next one here. All in good fun, Mike.
Pat and Ian, what's going on? Met you guys both at PRGE 2016, and then Pat, I saw you again for a second time in Syracuse that November. So I just wanted to ask quick, I know you guys have pushed back on the whole sealed Wata thing, VGA ordeal, but do you think there's a certain time frame where it's necessary, perhaps like Super Nintendo and before that, just because it's so rare and you don't really come across a lot of the stuff unless it's super common? Like,
I think there's a point, obviously, for authentication.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. But the way that the grading scene gets you is that they not only authenticate, they have to add the grade of it on top.
Right.
And that's where the trick is. There's lots of lots of other industries and collectibles like antiques, paintings, historical documents where they authenticate, but they're not going to throw a fucking grade on it. That only came into play with money collectibles and like baseball cards,
coins
and coins and stuff like that. Well, I'm talking about dollar bills and two.
Oh yeah, sure.
So like that's where I think people are like, well, why can't there be an option just to authenticate? Like, why can't there be? Like, I think there'd be a market for that as well. It's because that's not the market anymore. It's all about, that's how you can tell it's people that really want it.
That was the market 10 years ago, and I did it for free at Luna Video Games. Like
two locations.
You
got the Ian stamp, like it's the face of Ian stamped on. It's approved.
I mean, all the time people would come and be like, "Can you tell me if this is a real cartridge or not?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, let me get out my tools and we'll do it." But yeah, there's not a.
And Ian was just more qualified than someone at Wata in order to say that, like that it's real. Because Wata screwed up with prototypes. We didn't talk about that at the one on topic where someone mentioned that there's one of computer games that could have been a forgery that from that guy in Italy went to Wata and got graded.
Oh yeah. They said that it's possible. Yeah,
it's possible,
potential.
So I mean, like that's what we're talking about. So it's like when it comes to that, that's what makes me laugh as well. It's like there's plenty of experts around too that could authenticate, but we don't have companies to put things in fucking acrylic plastic cases. Right. That's the only difference to do that there. But no, it is necessary to authenticate. Absolutely. Next one here.
Hi, Pat and Ian. I'm Em from Colorado, and I've been listening to the podcast for probably 8 years now, and I just finished up my first year in college. And I was wondering if you guys had any advice about like finding the time to play games when you're in college. I know like for me, like trying to pursue a dual doctoral program, I have had great difficulty finding time to just play and enjoy games. And I was wondering if you guys had any advice for like time management or anything like that. Keep up the good work. Thanks.
Okay, so real quick. So first of all, you're pursuing a dual doctorate at 18 years old. It sounds like if you're a freshman in college, which is incredible. Good for you, Ed.
Yeah.
But you started listening to us when you were 10.
I'm sorry. So sorry about that.
I'm trying to. Ian's language was a little bit more toned down nowadays. 8 years ago, a lot more pissing in people's mouths, sort of things. So I'm picturing little 10-year-old Em listening to Ian, and I apologize for that. But all right.
I wish I could help you, but you're going for a double doctorate. That is you.
Hey, Em, this is my advice.
No experience
I'm not saying that's not a good idea, but the first 2 year of college, you might find stuff totally different. I totally did a 180 my sophomore year, but have fun in college, play some games. It's hard to find time. It is. This is how I did it. I wasn't doing dual doctorate.
Right.
This is how I did it. It was usually classes. Come home. You go to lunch. Come home from lunch. That's when you usually play games for like a couple hours.
Yeah.
We did our nice, I'm going to mention Unreal every single podcast going forward. We played our eight person Unreal LAN. First year LANs, Ian, in 98 was a brilliant thing. LAN, Napster, our own servers there, file sharing. So we did a couple hours of playing games, or not just Unreal, but other stuff, and then you went to homework in the afternoon before dinner. So that's basically what we did.
In college, I did it differently. I would go home and get all of my work out of the way first, and then I would play games at night. The problem with that is you have to be... I don't sleep, so if I'm so if I'm playing games, it's going to keep me awake longer. You've really got to set a timer on that, and I was never good about that.
Sure. We'll do a few more here. We're making better time than I thought. I thought it would be... The intro was probably shorter than we thought this time.
All right.
Speaking of that. What was that? You trying to push me along?
Hey guys, Rick here from North Pole, Alaska. I've been collecting.
Wait. Where are you from?
North Alaska.
No.
Hey guys, Rick here from North Pole, Alaska.
The North Pole.
Wow. North Pole,
you live
Alaska.
In the North Pole?
North Pole, Alaska is different.
Oh, that's not the North Pole?
There's not, from what I understand, there isn't really a...
I got excited because Santa was his neighbor.
It's in the water.
All right, sorry, Rich, what's going on?
I've been collecting all the Nintendo, Sega, and TurboGrafx minis that have been coming out. I even got the UK and Japan models. Oh. I know they won't be as recognized as the originals, but since they can hook up to a modern TV and basically you can load all your favorite games on them, I would think that they have a pretty good appeal. My question is what do you think about the future collectability of these? Are they just a fad, or do they hold any kind of real collectability? Thanks.
And these are what?
They're like the mini, like the NES mini, the TurboGrafx minis. Oh, will there be collectability for these?
I have a feeling if you fast forward 20 years, yeah, you're probably going to end up paying almost the same price or more. They're going to be wanted, but I don't think there's going to be like a collector's
I thought you were going to say you'd be paying $500 the same price.
Well, no, what I'm saying is I don't think the price is going to go down, and they could even go up.
I think it's one of those things that people want to actually play them
Yes.
more because it's HDMI. I don't see us having any newer HDMI tech. This is pretty much fine. We're not going to go past, I mean, there's 8K TVs, but relax. 4K is way more than enough.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Great movie.
Great movie.
Scarface. But I think I'm going to say no. And this is why. I think, like you said, they might keep their value. You'll pay $80.
They're going to keep their value because people want them, but I don't think they're going to be collectible.
The exception will probably be the NES Classic because they only made 3 million or whatever.
Smaller print run on that.
But the Super Nintendo, you can find them easily. You couldn't give away the PlayStation 1, the Genesis one.
Yeah,
people weren't fond of that. There's a
no, the Genesis one, the second Genesis one was the one that we got the review unit of was great. That was the one that everyone loved. Oh, okay. With the good game selection.
Okay, you're talking
about the At Games one. Yeah,
I think
that was awful.
Yeah, I read his question as these recent ones, including that. But you're right. They have there's a billion At Games ones out there.
Yes.
There's also like I went to the swap meet, Ian. I saw the Atari like Flashback Gold 8 HD one. I almost bought it. He wanted like $40 for it. I was like if I was ever going to play Atari games again, it was one that had Pitfall on it. So so I had like 120 games. I'm like that would. Because it has Activision stuff and Keystone Capers, that would scratch my
good
itch.
Atari stuff on it.
That would scratch my itch, but it did not have the it was not the deluxe version. The deluxe version had the
spinner. The
spinners.
Yeah.
If it had the spinners for $40, I would have bought it.
Yep, absolutely.
But without it, I did not. So I'm like, I think the other reason why I think they won't hold their value, Ian, Nintendo could always say, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but they could say in 3 years, hey, it's the 40th anniversary of the NES. We're going to do a new version of the NES Classic. There's nothing from stopping them doing. They were profitable. Like they could have sold double or triple the amount of NES classics. They could have probably done it at the time.
Yeah,
they did the Super Nintendo one. It was super profitable. If the emulation wasn't whack, there would have been an N64 one by now.
Yep,
there probably would have been. So that's the reason why there's always going to be other versions. Sega always needs a buck or two. They could always make more of them. There's always going to be an At Games. That's the reason why. The PlayStation 1, there's too many of them. No one gives a shit. It was an awful product.
No one wants it.
It was an awful product. Commodore 1 looked cute. I saw it at the swap.
Yeah, it looks great.
You can't press the keys, but it has the Wiko joystick. It looked cute.
Looks okay.
Do you have that? I'm surprised you don't have that.
No, I don't. If I found it,
I'm more of an Apple guy, but
yes, if I found it, I'd pick it up.
Yeah. Okay. You want to check in with someone to see what's going on? We do.
Hey, whoever had that sign on SmackDown last night saying Intellivision Amico scammed me, I hope you're happy, because these are some of the voicemails I got, okay?
Fuck the Intellivision piece of shit! Fuck you! Fuck the Tommy Tallarico! I put you in a camera clutch, make you humble!
Okay, next one.
You know, I was watching SmackDown last night. It brought back a lot of memories, especially when it comes to getting screwed and being told that I was the one who screwed myself. And when I saw that sign, I said, you know, this is what professional wrestling is all about.
And this next one really scared me because I think I know who this is and pretty sure he's supposed to be dead.
How you doing down there, Tommy boy? Oh yeah, the pipes are calling now. Boy, it sure is nice when people get their comeuppance. The sleeper is on, but you just won't tap out. Why won't you tap out, Tommy boy? What?
I'm turning my phone off.
Oh, very good.
Excellent. Well, it's good to know Bret Hart got some joy out of seeing that. That sign. That's
happy for Bret. And it was really good to hear from Roddy. Beyond the grave.
We missed Roddy.
We did.
Roddy's been gone now for like several years already.
Yeah.
God, Roddy.
I miss you.
We miss you, Roddy. And of course, the Iron Sheik, who always has to hear from the Sheik. Make you humble. Break your back, make you humble. All right, that was a fun one, Ian.
It was good. We had a time.
We had a time.